Hey, what's up, guys? It's April 25th, currently 8 o'clock at night. Hi, my name's Dr. Weeze, and I'm an extreme overclocker from South Africa. So after a fairly tough G.Skill qualifier, I eventually finished ninth in that qualifier. I had to take a business trip off to the Democratic Republic of Congo, and so I'm back, and I want to start off getting back into things again by doing some memory overclocking. Now, during the G.Skill the World Cup qualifiers, the one stage was maximum memory frequency, and I managed to reach a maximum frequency of 2400.08, but my valid file wasn't usable to submit because you needed to have XIC enabled. So what I want to do tonight is I'm going to go after more than 2400 again. Elmore from ASUS HQ released a new BIOS. If it's anything like the previous one that he released, it should give me quite a boost. So I've got that new BIOS installed and configured. I've got the system set up and ready to rock and roll. And I think that the first test to see if I can boot at a higher base clock from the BIOS, then I should be able to basically take that 2400 memory validation. Other than that, guys, don't forget you can subscribe to my newsletter. We send out communications once in a blue moon, just updating of what's going on. I also have a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/drweeze.oc. You can just follow me on that and like my page and all that stuff. Keep in touch. We've got some more giveaways coming up in a couple of weeks' time. We've also got some exciting Computex news coming up in the next couple of weeks. There's a couple of developments we should hear back from in the next couple of days, and I'll bring that news to you on the stream. The stream should be coming back to you twice a week from now until the 9th of May, when I'm off to the DRC again for another week. And then following that, there's one more week until Computex. So yeah, I'll be giving you more news about that coming up soon. So I'm going to get cracking with this so long, and it really is just a case of let's get cold and let's get going. Any questions? Don't be shy. Feel free to ask. All right. Hey, Mark53, how are you doing, man? All right, so I'll take you through the BIOS while we wait for everything to cool down. At the moment, my temperatures are just 18 degrees on the CPU, and the memory is at 12 degrees. So I've really just been hovering around ambient just while I've been setting up the BIOS, and I've just been doing a little bit of pre-configuration. Nothing really exciting. I just set the 8 multiplier. I set to DDR4133 and 8 on the cache, and then I've got some voltages going there. So very briefly, the CPU 1.15, because we're only running on 8 multipliers, no need for any more CPU voltage. DRAM 1.6, the I/O voltage 1.33, system agent voltage at 1.35, termination 1.3, PCH core 1.175, and the standby at 1.2. I can turn the mic volume up a little bit. Just worry about there being a little bit of feedback. Is that better? Okay, so let's continue. Maybe I'll move the mic a little bit closer. Okay, is that any better? Alright, so going through that, nothing really exciting. If some of you might have read the article that Splay put together, you'll see that he uses up to 1.65 volts in the SA voltage, and I'm a bit of a chicken when it comes to SA voltage. I've never used more than 1.45 for anything, and maybe when we've reached our max, we will try pushing it up to 1.6 and seeing if that makes any sort of, if we have any sort of gain on that. Following from that, what else have I set in the DRAM timing control? I've gone through and I've set some base timings, and if you want, I'll save this BIOS and post it up, and you guys can just have a look for yourselves. What I have forgotten to mention tonight is the hardware I'm using. So I've got the Maximus VIII Impact along with a 6700K processor. I've got a single stick of E-die here. It's a 4133 SPD, and The powerhouse tonight is delivered by the Coolermaster V1200 Platinum, and liquid nitrogen supplied by a local company who seems to want to rip me off all the time. But enough of that. Okay, so some basic settings. The important ones being is your DRAM cycle time, and your T4, and then a couple of others there, and I'll leave you to discover this. 2131 seems to work best for me. A couple of other people use like 2125, but you know what? I've also discovered with the extreme memory preset, if you have a look at the raw megahertz profile down here that ASUS and ROG team provide for you, I can get within 40 megahertz of maximum clock using that profile. So if you're starting off, don't be scared to use that. It doesn't limit your max clock by very much at all. So the idea here is we want to get down to about minus 120 on the memory and about minus 80 to minus 120 on the CPU, and that's where we're going to just start with doing some of the tuning. So this kit's definitely good for 2395 validation with XRC on and a 2400 with XRC off. Today I'd like to get to like 2410, 2420 if possible, and I'd be quite happy. It seems like I've also only got limited amounts of LN2. I'd say maybe 5 liters left maybe, but I need to use it up before I can order more. I've got a minimum order quantity, unfortunately. Right, so that's that all done. Let's just get out of here, and right, so we start off with a base clock of 100. Let's just get out of that, and let's just go up. Okay, so we're starting with the base clock of 100, and that I know I already train it, and I will try and train it 102. So basically, we're just pushing up the megahertz until it stops training. And through this whole process, we won't even enter Windows until such time as we reach the maximum, which will train it, and then we'll start pushing up from there. So the previous highest base clock I could train at in the BIOS before having to go into Windows was 114.7. And if I can get to 115 training in the BIOS, I'll be quite happy with that. So our current temperatures, minus 85 on the CPU, minus 80 on the memory. And this stick of memory on air will do 2235, so not the greatest stick on air, but that could also be limited by my IMC. Alright, let's get this party rolling. 107. So there are a few other voltages that I haven't showed you, which is under the extreme tweaking menu, which is a DMI voltage that I've put up to 1.37. The core PLL voltage I've set to 1.8 for now. I'll change that up to 2.2 once we start hitting some issues with cold. 108, we're at 107, so 108.5. Let's just try and get this going a little bit quicker. I'm running the Bauer Beast is the CPU pot that I'm using. The memory pot I am using the SF3D all copper heat spreaders and then copper LU memory pot. So one of the great features of the Beast is that it's quite quick to get down into temperature. So you can really do things quite quickly and with limited amounts of Allen 2. So the memory frequency we are currently at, I will tell you once we get into the BIOS. We're currently at 4546, so that's 2250, 225 something or other. That's quite okay. And we're going to go for 2310 now, 2310 megahertz. Okay, minus 100 on the CPU and minus 120 on the memory. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to start training in smaller increments, just one base clock at a time. I know that 114.75 was my previous best, so I'm expecting to hit the training wall anytime soon. And unfortunately, if we hit the same sort of training wall, then I think we might hit the same sort of max clocks. But let's not rule it out until we get there, shall we? Okay, and maybe if this trains, we'll just go into Windows quickly and I'll show you guys the frequency. Okay, 55. Add a little more temperature. 41. So these codes, I'm just calling out the postcodes as they're coming up now. .41. Good evening, Troutman. How are you doing, mate? Okay, so I wasn't training 114 base clock at minus 120. I'm now down to minus 140, and I'm not training 114. So let's just go into Windows and let's just show you our progress of where we're at. And I'm still at just minus 100 on the CPU, nothing special going on there. Alright, so the resolution looks alright on the stream. Make sure. Okay, yeah. Alright, let's have a look at what we got. So 114 base clock is what we booted, and that's a memory frequency of 2356. So another trick that I picked up a while ago is when in Windows, if you're going to increase the base clock, don't jump too big. Do 2 ticks at a time and increase until you hit your maximum. And then what you want to do is you want to try and play with the temperatures and then play with the voltages and on the next boot and see if you can get past that. But generally speaking, what you need to do is you need to boot at the highest base clock possible. Thanks, man. I quite like the wallpaper myself. That was a good event. So Charlesman on the chat was just commenting on my nice wallpaper, and the wallpaper is from the Cape Town World Tour event, which I placed first in, so I quite like it. I'll keep it. Alright, so that's 23. -76. And we're -150 now on the CPU, -102 on the, -102 on the CPU, -150 on the memory temperature-wise. So 2380. And the old maximum was around, I think 16.5 base clock. And be frozen there. Okay. So pretty similar walls, pretty similar behavior from this bias to the old bias. And what we need to do now is we just need to hit the retry button and bring it back up again. Alright, so let me just enable. Okay, so that max there, I should write it down, was 23806, I think it was 86 or something around there. But what we'll do is we'll go in and just increase in the bias. So 114.25. Okay, let's train that. Okay. 41. Our temperature had dropped to -138. Let's just go cold. Good evening. Okay, and that is trained. Temperature 150. Okay, so entering the BIOS, your screen should come up shortly. Right, no screen. There we go. And what we'll do now is 114.50. $41. Okay, we're hitting now -170. And it's trained. So there you can see that's the basic technique to get it to train higher. Now what Splave was doing in his article, and I still need to test this, was when he was reaching his maximum, I think, he was then pumping up the SA voltages, 0.75. Now this was a previous max I could train at, and if you have a look at what my voltages are, they're still sitting quite reasonably low. My SA voltage 1.35. Now he was using up to 1.6 volts, and it's something I really should try doing at some stage, but I'm really scared to kill my good IMC. So again, it's just pumping up that base clock, getting your temperatures to the sweet spot, and then just reboot until it trains. Once it trains, get into Windows and you can up your base clock. So 41 again. Okay, it feels like I've got about 3 liters of nitrogen left now. We'll see what we can do in that time. Okay, let's go a little bit colder on the IMC. So I'm at minus 120 on the CPU. I'm going to take that down to a little bit colder. Okay, so it's been quite stubborn now, hitting 41 on every try. Okay, this might be a good time to give Splave's method a go to see if more SA voltage will assist. Okay, everything's nice and toasty. Okay. So the nice thing about using the ROG product is the safe mode button. So instead of having to reset the BIOS, I can just hit the safe mode. I can go in and I can change the setting that was preventing me from booting before. So I can just go into safe mode, and what we're going to do is we're going to try and leave it at 114.75, and we're going to up the SA voltage. And how much we need to up it by, I don't know. Let's try 1.55. So like the first time for me. Historically, changing SA voltage up past what was the sweet spot never really seemed to yield much, but I'm always willing to try new things. Yeah, so 41. Get the temperatures back. I dropped down to minus 145 on the memory. I think that would need to be around 170 to train. Right, so it's just continuously hitting the 41. Good evening, Mr. Pino. How are you? Alright, so just continuously hitting 41, it's not getting past 114.5. It's very disappointing. That's exactly the same sort of wall I had before with the older BIOS. So So I think what we'll do is we'll try lowering some other voltages and seeing if that makes a difference. Okay, so what I'll do is try and move that down. Let's go 1.6 there. Let's try it. Taking the memory back down to minus 170, minus 180, 25, 41. Okay. Okay, minus 160, 170, 25 to 41. Hey, Knox Ford, how are you doing, buddy? Okay, I just lost something. I think I lost the stream. Okay. Not the stream, the screen capture. Okay, we've just trained. Yeah. Okay, I'll get the screen grab back. That was minus 180. Okay, and I lost the screen. Okay, so we are training. Can you see the screen? Yeah, okay. Let's see if we can get into Windows. Right, so as you can see, memory clocking is really not something that can be rushed or that is very exciting to see. It's a lot of retry magic. It happens, and then on the very next boot, exactly the same settings and nothing works. It can be very frustrating, but your patience can be rewarded. Now you can see we just basically booted at 114.7. So our memory booting at 123.715. Okay, and we can try and up it from here and to see where we get to. So our previous best was 2386, which is basically 10 megahertz away from where we are now. CPU at minus 120, memory at minus 174 at the moment. I want to keep that around 178. Okay. So, important thing to remember is your temperatures. When you're sitting in Windows, you can get all carried away with reaching the max clock, and you're forgetting that you control your temperatures. Trust me, I've made that mistake several times. The habit I like to get myself into is make one adjustment, check the temperatures, make one adjustment, check the temperatures, and yeah. Okay, so 2389.7, 2391.2. Okay. 2395. 2397, and we're frozen. Okay, so 2397 is our current breast, and I must say this bias is acting very, very similar to the older bias. I haven't seen any real gains, unfortunately. Right, so now we've actually frozen. What we need to do now is hit the safe mode button or the retry button, get back into the bias and up that base clock one more notch and try and boot it higher. That's the only thing that's going to get us more megahertz in Windows, is to boot higher. And this, what I'm booting at the moment, is the max that I have ever been able to boot the set at. So if we can improve here, then the bias is an improvement. If not, then I'm just a sucky overclocker. Nah, only joking. And I've reached the maximum for either the IMC or for the memory kit. Right, so you're still seeing the screen on screen, the windows on screen there. I'm busy trying to get the bias back, and we've just posted, so I will bring it back in, and you can see what's happening. Okay. Right, so this is now the magic, what we want to happen. We want to try and boot 115 base clock. Let's have a look at what we've got going on the settings. So we've got the system agent voltage up at 1.6. That's something new I haven't tried before. And the DRAM voltage at 1.58. So I think that should be good. And let's go through the loops. Okay, so now the important thing is now to get the temperature to the sweet spot and just keep going through it. So 41 postcode, and I don't know if you can see here, I've got the OC panel, which I'm just hitting the retry button each time I hit a roadblock of 41. So 25, 41. Okay, temperatures minus 120, minus 180, 41. Maybe this is a bit boring to watch. A little bit better for now. $25, $41. So we're just basically looping through, hoping that the memory can train at this base clock. Now, I tested on Sunday, not last Sunday, the Sunday before last. I tested this sticker memory with another IMC on the 6320 Core i3, and I hit the same sort of wall, just short of 2400. Which is a bit disappointing, and it's starting to look like it might be the maximum for the actual sticker memory. Alright, so we're just sitting at constant 41, 41, 41. I don't see us winning with this until we try something different. Let's go into the bias. So I hit safe mode. We're going to boot check in the bias and then just see if we can think of something to try there. KD Pinar, it's our winner of our lucky draw, Coolermaster. How are you doing? Okay, so we went into safe mode and let's just have a look what we got. Right. Let's have a look what we got. I don't think that'll make a difference, but let's just try that. Yeah, 1.56. Okay, 41. $55. Well, that's a promising looks start. It's not 41. It's still memory training issue though. But 55 is one step further than 41. Okay, that one. There we go. Okay, 2 liters left. Okay, temperatures minus 160, minus 188. Mm -mm. 41, 41, 41. Okay, I've hit the safe mode button. I'm going to go back into BIOS. I'm not happy with anything there. Okay, we're just hitting 41s again. I think we go back to, then we go back to 14.75. Oh well. Unless I'm blatantly missing something, I just can't seem to get past this wall 14.75. I think it's the max for this set of memory, this DIMM. Okay, basically what happened there is the board it froze in the BIOS, and then it was just giving 55 areas on safe mode. So the minute you start getting 55 areas on safe mode, that means you've got a bit of an issue with some ice, some water in the memory slot area, and I just blasted with the hairdryer to get it back. Okay, so what I want to do is just get it back to booting 11475 again. And then playing on 11475, I want to try a few things like increasing the DRAM voltage to see if it boots, and then decreasing the SA voltage, increasing SA voltage to see if it boots. Really riveting watching. Hope you like the sound of my voice. Right, so we're just looping through the boots again. Okay, booting. So I'm just entering the BIOS. Now it's a little slow, yes, it's mainly because of the 8 multiplier on the CPU. Okay, so what I've done is I've changed the DRAM voltage. I want to see what effect that has now on training. The sticker memory really liked around 1.6 volts. The other one I tested liked around 1.7 volts. But it might have just been something I was testing at the time, so there we've trained. Now let's put it up again and see if we train again with a higher voltage. And then training at higher voltage, I'm going to go and see that if we can maybe go into Windows. If we lower the voltage, if it would give us an extra little bit of headroom. $32, $35, $37. Okay, $35. It should train. Yep. Okay, so we are basically full pot on the memory and minus like 160 on the CPU. And that is trained at 1.65 volts. My upload seems to be about normal. It could be there's an issue with this, the Twitch servers again. We've had this before, and you know, if Twitch has latency issues, then that really affects the stream. My drop frames are not that bad, and my upload is at over 3 megasecond, so it looks alright from my side. Troutman, if you're still around, is everything okay for you on that side? So there we can just have a look here. We booted 114.7. really need to be booting higher, but I just can't seem to get past that wall. Okay, 1.65 DRAM volts. I'm very interested to see where, if this now limits our maximum, where we max out. Okay, this was our last usable validation, and this next apply is where we froze last time, and it hasn't frozen, and it has applied, and it's frozen. Okay. Awesome, Nox. Listen, go have a great rest, man. We'll speak again in the morning. Thanks for stopping past. Alright, so even with the changes there, we downed the SA voltage, we upped the DRAM clocks, we still hit the same wall. Now I wonder if we can change some of the skew rates. Let's have a look at some of that stuff. Alright, so we just hit the retry button, and let's train again. And 41. Okay, that's it. Last liter of nitrogen. Tank is tapped out. Yeah, thanks for that info. So this the replay will be exported tomorrow to YouTube. If the stream is a little bit buggy tonight, I do apologize for that. It's out of my control. And I think I just lost the screen capture device again. I did. Yeah. Ow. Okay, so we're back into Windows, and we're going to see what we can try now. So we've got the base clock skew. I don't know if this actually does anything. Let's just change that to 1.5, or should we change it to 4.5 nanoseconds skew rate? I think making it quicker would be better, maybe. Don't know. And frequency ORT, I have no idea what that is. Let's try disabling it, see what happens. And then what we'll do is base clock amplitude, change that up a bit, and let's have a try again. Okay, we're full potting the memory as cold as possible. Okay, just start going up one at a time. Finger on the F7 button, so that's to save the validation file. Basically, we want to see 2400 on the DRAM frequency. I do have a validation file that is 2400 that I could not use for the G.Skill competition, but we want more than the straight up 2400, don't we? But I don't think we'll be seeing it tonight. Right, so let's have a look. This is it. I don't think it's applied yet. Okay. No, there it applied there. Frustrating. Yeah, so basically at 1.6 we hung again. Now the last time what I did was as I was increasing, I was decreasing. And my previous best was 16.25 base clock. Alright, let's try again. Hit the retry button. Okay, here we go, picture back. Let's check, okay. And we lost the screen capture device again. Gee, it's bad tonight. It's not coming back. Ladies and gents, we seem to have lost the screen capture device. It's not working. Let's just close that. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. I do apologize. Let me just walk you through what's happening then. Okay, back into Windows. Maybe what we can do is I'll just have to give you commentary as we go. Alright, so we booted back in. My temperatures are -190, -165, and what I'm going to change this time on the voltages is the DRAM voltage. When we get to 115.5, I'm going to change the DRAM voltage, and I'm going to change the DMI voltage up to 1.5. Just try and help stabilize the DMI if it is making a little bit of noise. And see if we can go up any higher. Okay, 2390 at 15.625, 15.75 is where I am at the moment. I'm going to decrease the DRAM voltage. And take the next step. $2,400, we got it. It was there briefly. Can't see it on the screen. That's a pity. It was there, and then it was gone, and we froze. So changing the DRAM voltage down did seem to help ever so slightly. 16.125. Maybe what I'll do is onto my Instagram is I'll take a quick photo of that and just post it up. 0.2 megahertz. Instagram. Yeah, Mark, yeah, you can't be doing the long way around. You need to just use the F7 method. And then for CPU-Z as well, there's the option in this INR file that you need to set as well, which is XFC equals 1 for saving that F7 validation. It also doesn't load the CPU, but watch out, some competitions do need you to have XFC enabled. So just check the rules when entering. Okay, I've posted up the picture now. 2399.8 is what we got there, and obviously we froze, so I need to hit the retry button. I'm going to try and bring this video back one more time. It's a bit horrible not having anything on the screen there. Let's just check. All the splitters are powered up and fine. Oh, this one is definitely receiving signal. And let's just deactivate, activate again. Okay, I'll try switching the HDMI cables around to see if that makes a difference. Because I'm getting a picture on my screen, but you're not getting it on the screen capture. So I've got a HDMI splitter, which sends signal to the capture device and to the screen. And I'll just switch the ports around, and it's working my side but not working on the screen. So I think I'll have to stop and start the stream software, and that breaks the session. So I've only got 1 liter of LN2 left. I'm going to continue to stream, but yeah, you're not going to unfortunately see the screen, which is a bit of a bummer. Okay, so let's try one more time. We've got about half a liter of LN2 left. Okay, again, we just want to take the temperatures down. At 15.5 at the moment. And what I've done as well is set DMI voltage to 1.6 now. I set the skew rate right down. $15.75. Let's take that DRAM voltage down maybe. Okay, and okay, we froze there. Put the DRAM voltage down. Try again. I'm going to try one more time to boot 115. You guys can't see what's on the screen anyway, so it's boring either way. 115, so I've changed the base clock frequency to 115, and then under extreme tweakers paradise, I'm going to change the DMI voltage to 1.6. Okay, and don't set the DMI voltage that high if you're using the RGP. It's just like death to the RGP. $41. $32, $35. Oh, this might actually post. $35, $62. It's posting. Holy crap. Excuse my French. Okay, let's see if it boots Windows. Yeah, Windows is loading. Wow. Okay, so this is now the highest I've ever been able to boot, which is 115. And I'm really sorry that I can't show you this on the screen. We could maybe take this camera down. blue screen or deaf? Okay, so okay, so there's the screen. .35, so it's training again. And yes, into Windows at 115 base clock with not even a liter of nitrogen left, which is so sad. So I don't know if you can see there, at 115. So let's go and save a validation file. This should get us to 116.25, I should imagine. Again, I'm just following the same path of upping the base clock. I was doing it 2 at a time, and then I hit 115.5, and then I do it 1 at a time. So I need to keep my finger on the F7 button, because as soon as we hit that barrier, I should be able to save it. 116.125. There's 2400 saved. 2400 saved. Okay, 2425 saved. 2402. 16.35. Bang, saved. 2405. 16.5. Bang, frozen. 2479. Yeah, that's a new personal best, and I believe it is a new South African highest frequency. So we'll just Instagram that one again and post that one to Facebook. And for you guys, sorry, I forget that you can't see what's happening on the screen, and there you can see if it focuses. Does it want to focus? Can you see that? No. 2407.9. And we did freeze there, but we did also get past the barrier. Okay, thanks everyone. Post that on Facebook, and it's done. Okay, so let's try again. So if we're training at 115 now, let's try training 115.215. That didn't train. Okay, trained. Okay, it's trained, but it looks like it's frozen going into the BIOS. It's taking too long. Just hit the retry button again. $41. So with the button train, let's go and have a look at this. And I can maybe show you guys. Wait, I don't think the camera's going to reach. I wanted to show you this area here, how frosty it all is. So the whole board and everything else, you can just see it's just one lump of ice. It's quite extreme. And we've trained. Okay, so now I want to try my luck 115.125. Let's see if we can train this. We're in the business, we're in the money. 41. And that's basically the secret to maximum memory frequency. You've got to just train as high as possible. Find that way to train higher. But I think my nitrogen, yeah, not even 500 mils left. 55, positive. $25.41. Let's just go back to the other view. That one's horrible, sorry. 25, oh, that's not good. That's cold bug. Okay. 25.41. So this whole board really is just one big lump of frozen. Now having a look at the slots behind, I've got quite a bit of condensation slash frost. Performed exceptionally well tonight. Alright, 41. And I don't have much nitrogen left. Okay, let's go into safe mode. Okay, as cold bug hit 16, Right, this is going to name the end of the session because I'm hitting cold bug now. That means I don't have enough nitrogen to get back down again at temperature. Let's try again. Okay. Okay, so I hit the safe mode, so I'm just going back into the BIOS. I want to try and change a few things, namely the DRAM voltage. So 1.65 at the moment. I'm going to try and change that down a bit, I think. Oh, excuse me. Okay. And we'll see if we can train again. But this is now the last of the nitrogen. You won't believe it, it trained. Damn, that really sucks. It's really cool, but it really sucks. It's cool because it trained it. Oh, damn it. Okay, never mind. It trained safe mode. I got excited there for a second. Alright. Ah, 41. Okay, well, let's take this and just put this away. And then we can just wrap up. Oh. There we go. Okay, 41 postcode again. Alright guys, well I think I'm going to call it a night. The nitrogen is finished, and unfortunately we didn't really quite hit what we wanted to hit, although we came close and I was able to train a whole point base of a base clock higher. So in a nutshell, I was able to beat my previous personal best, which was 24.0008, and what I have got a validation file for is around 24.005, and the best on screen was 24.07.9. So all in all, yeah, I'm quite happy about that. It is a new South African record, or Foster score, whatever you want to call it. It would not move me up the ranking, so I'd still be 5th globally for the fastest DDR4 memory. But all in all, I'm satisfied with the use of the last of my LN2. So until next time, happy benching. Thanks for tuning in.